You're pushing it, aren't you? You really want a name, don't you, man? Jeez.
This world goes much deeper than you imagine.
Sam, first lines in the very first film is, "I'm just another dumb grunt going to a place he'll regret." Now, your Jake Sully reverts a bit back to that dumb grunt. Did you talk with James Cameron about how in extreme situations we humans tend to revert back to our old selves?
When I work with Jim, it's kind of organic. I don't kind of sit down and discuss. I kind of, it's in the DNA of his scripts, you know? Like, Avatar 2 and Avatar Fire and Ash were one script when I read it, and there was touchstones for me in that story that was leading to that idea. You know, he's saying he's not Turek Makto in number 2. He's saying he's giving up the way of the weapon. With this one, I think once the son dies, yeah, you go back to your default of the humanity in him is overtaking, which is, you know, he's just a dumb grunt. He's just a soldier. That's it. That's his way through. I think he's being betrayed by his own code because when you think like that, it stops him from understanding everything that he's learned, the Na'vi way, which could help him get through this. But that's the humanity of Jake coming through, the human side of him coming through. So, and if you notice, even at the end, he doesn't want to be the leader of these tribes. You know, he doesn't want to be Turek Makto. He considers himself a dumb grunt. It's you know, and these were things that organically grew out of the journey. I think that's why I love these movies. I don't necessarily find Jake by talking. I definitely find him by doing. And so those kind of ideas are peppered in the script, but we just kind of flesh them out as we create it. Yeah.
One of my favorite scenes in this new film is a tense meeting between Una Chaplin's Varang and your Miles Quaritch.
You want to spread your fire across the world. You need me.
As James Cameron likes to refer to the motion capturing part of shooting as pure acting, what was it like to shoot this scene in this pure acting style, especially with your Broadway experience?
It was. I mean, every scene we do, I think, has that is acting at its most fundamental. This particular scene, of course, required a different kind of level of imagination because of what was happening to the character in terms of the psychedelic nature, I think, of what actually goes down in that scene. You know, that requires, you know, acting, and it was a pleasure to do because working with Una, she's an actor of really rare imagination, tremendous skill, and great empathy and collaboration. You know, I mean, yeah, she comes from a legacy of brilliance in the cinema. We know this, and I think she embodies it to the nth degree. So working in a scene of that duration, because it's a long scene, it's a very complete scene, was really thrilling to do. And when we completed the work, it was like, well, that was a good day. That was a good day's work.
So you shot this entire scene in one day? I'm
sure we did. We may have gone back and massaged it a bit, because you get new ideas. Jim gets new ideas, Una does. I don't get new ideas, but yeah, I'm sure we went back to it now and again, but it's always, when we would finish a scene, I always remember Jim will always go, "I'm good. Are you good? You need another? You want another?" And I'll go, "Well, if you're good with it, I'm good with it." I'm good with it, you know. And that was a great scene to work, to collaborate with, and it formed a bond, I think, between not only Varang and Quaritch, but between myself and Una, that I will always value highly.
Protect your sisters. Yes, sir. Stay under cover.
there's a brief mention of a chairman of the company that invades Pandora.
Yeah.
Who do you think would make a great chairman in the saga?
I remember Jim has mentioned some names to me about people, but I don't want to kind of say. Yeah, it's interesting. But it's cool. Like, I love that character of Selfridge, and I think Giovanni. There's someone where on the page that doesn't ping, and he comes in and has spun a character, and every character in this is being tested. You know, Selfridge is being tested. Not only the core characters, but these other characters that, Garvin the scientist is being tested. And I think that's what Jim's trying to do. Every character is trying to find their way in this movie. It's a bit different to Way of Water in that respect. It's familiar, but now he's testing everybody. He's getting more complex.
But if you could wish for any actor who...
You're pushing it, aren't you? You really want a name, don't you, man? Jeez.
Sully's never quits.
That's right. Sully's never quit.
Who would you have?
Oh, Al Pacino?
Okay, there we go. We'll call him up. You know him. We'll call him up. And do you want to put on a performance capture suit, Al?
Sure, why not?
He would. He loves theatre, doesn't
Of
he?
course he would do it, yeah. I don't know who it should be.
There are many unsung heroes during the production of an Avatar movie. Is there anyone you want to give a special shout out to?
Well, I love our stunt team. Garrett Warren certainly always merits a mention. He puts together he choreographs these stunts along with his co-stunt coordinator Steve Brown. They do just a bang up job working. But
and that's complex because you're exactly right, because it's complex because now you're doing a fight scene on floating rocks. So they have to use their imagination. It's not as exact as like when you do stunts on a conventional movie. You really got to think outside the box.
If I were going to pick one other right now, it would be Deborah Scott, who is the costume designer, because every costume that you see in this thing has actually been built and exists, and they're all made according to form. And Deb has been working on this for so long and just so brilliantly. In my opinion. But, you mentioned Garrett, we mentioned Deb, and when you do that, you're necessarily leaving out
3,200 people involved. In this family.
We've got a prop guy, Brad, who
that's
just
a
is
tough job.
completely intrepid. He's always I know how to do this. I've created this. It's a slingshot that works as an airplane also. So there's a lot of everybody contributes, and of course our troupe. We have a troupe of actors who consider themselves sort of the Swiss Army knives of the whole thing.
It's interesting. On conventional movies, I find the departments are kind of separate. On Avatar, every department is at everyone else's disposal, and we're all there to facilitate Jim's literal dream. That's what we're trying to create. So you get to know everyone quite well over the course of the period of filming it compared to other movies. Yeah.